Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Nowhere, which hit screens on September 29th, 2023, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like. It really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. Nowhere is a survival thriller unlike any other, a testament to human resilience and the strength of the human spirit. Directed by Albert Pinto, the film stars Ana Castillo as Mia, a woman fighting to stay alive in the face of overwhelming odds. Set against a backdrop of desperation and chaos, this movie takes its audience on a relentless journey that is both harrowing and inspiring. The film's raw emotion, coupled with its pulse-pounding tension, makes it an unforgettable cinematic experience. The movie begins in a dystopian near future, where societal collapse and violent uprisings have forced countless individuals into desperate circumstances. Mia and her partner Nico, played by Tamar Novas, are among those seeking refuge. Their dream of escape involves boarding a shipping container bound for a safer place, a decision born out of necessity, but fraught with peril. However, the journey takes a devastating turn when Mia becomes separated from Nico and finds herself stranded at sea inside the very container that was supposed to be her salvation. The plot of Nowhere is deceptively simple but emotionally rich. At its heart, the story is about survival, not just in the physical sense, but also emotionally and mentally. Mia's plight is compounded when she discovers she is pregnant, a revelation that transforms her struggle into one of sheer maternal determination. With limited resources and no way to communicate, every second becomes a fight against time, the elements, and her own fears. The pacing of the film is relentless, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Early moments of dread give way to bursts of hope, only to be shattered by new challenges. For example, the container itself becomes a character in the story, a claustrophobic prison that Mia must navigate with ingenuity. The isolation is palpable, with every creak and groan of the metal walls amplifying the tension. This visceral setting heightens the stakes and ensures the audience feels every ounce of Mia's despair and resolve. One of the most gripping aspects of Nowhere is its unflinching look at the human capacity for hope in the face of unimaginable odds. Mia's journey is not just about surviving, it's about finding meaning and purpose in survival. The film deftly explores themes of love, sacrifice, and the will to persevere. Mia's connection to her unborn child serves as an anchor, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, the promise of a better future can provide the strength to keep going. The movie also employs several narrative twists that keep the audience guessing. Just when it seems Mia has found a way to overcome one obstacle, another, even more daunting challenge arises. These twists are not only well executed but deeply rooted in the story's emotional core. For instance, moments of fleeting relief, like discovering a small stash of supplies, are undercut by the harsh realities of her situation. The constant push and pull between hope and despair mirrors the unpredictable nature of life itself. The cinematography of Nowhere deserves special mention. The tight, confined shots within the container capture Mia's isolation and vulnerability, while the vast, endless expanse of the ocean outside underscores her insignificance against nature's might. The interplay between light and shadow, as well as the creative use of sound design, enhances the immersive experience. Every sound, a distant wave, the scrape of metal, or Mia's own labored breathing, becomes a reminder of her fragility and the stakes of her survival. As the story unfolds, Mia's resilience becomes an inspiration. The film doesn't shy away from showing her moments of weakness and despair, making her triumphs all the more impactful. Her resourcefulness, whether it's finding ways to collect water, manage her limited food supply, or navigate the unpredictable ocean currents, is portrayed with a realism that keeps the audience invested. Castillo's performance as Mia is nothing short of extraordinary, capturing the character's strength, vulnerability, and unyielding determination. Nowhere is not just a survival story, it's a deeply human story. It explores what it means to fight for life and for those you love. The themes resonate universally, making it a movie that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. The film's exploration of isolation and the need for connection speaks to a broader audience, especially in a world that often feels fragmented and disconnected. As the movie reaches its climax, viewers are treated to moments of genuine catharsis. Mia's journey is a roller coaster of emotions, but it is one that ends with a powerful message of hope. The final act is both heart-pounding and deeply moving, leaving the audience with a sense of awe at what one person can endure and achieve. Without giving away too much, the twists and turns of Nowhere will leave you breathless. The film's ability to balance raw, edge-of-your-seat suspense with moments of profound emotional depth is a testament to its storytelling prowess. It's a movie that will have you gripping your seat one moment and wiping away tears the next. So, what do you think of Nowhere so far? Has Mia's journey sparked your curiosity? If you've ever wondered how far you would go to protect what matters most, this film offers a thought-provoking perspective. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the movies you love. And here's a question to ponder. What would you do if you found yourself alone, adrift, with nothing but your wits and determination to survive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The story begins in the midst of chaos. Mia, a woman driven by desperation and hope, finds herself in a dystopian future where survival is a daily battle. Society has crumbled under the weight of economic collapse and political unrest, forcing people to flee their homes in search of a safer life. Mia and her partner, Nico, dream of escaping the turmoil, clinging to the hope of a better tomorrow. But escape comes at a cost. Their decision to board a cargo container headed for an unknown destination is fraught with peril, and their shared dreams of safety and unity are quickly shattered. As the journey begins, the sense of danger is immediate and palpable. The dark, cramped space of the container is oppressive, filled with the sounds of the sea and the constant creaking of the metal walls. Mia is surrounded by strangers, each carrying their own fears and hopes. Nico is there to comfort her, promising that everything will be okay. For a brief moment, there is solace in their unity, even as the uncertainty of the journey looms large. The first twist comes swiftly and brutally. A violent storm rocks the container ship, throwing it into disarray. The container Mia and Nico are in becomes detached, plunging into the sea and separating the couple. This moment is a gut punch, leaving Mia isolated in the vastness of the ocean. Panic sets in, and the realization of her predicament begins to sink in. Alone in the middle of nowhere, with only the container's walls for company, Mia is thrust into a battle for survival. Inside the container, resources are scarce, and Mia is forced to rely on her wits and determination. A small stash of food and water provides temporary relief, but the oppressive heat and the suffocating darkness of her metal prison are relentless. Her every move is calculated, every decision a gamble. The film masterfully captures Mia's growing desperation, showing her resourcefulness as she attempts to ration her supplies and find ways to survive. The confined setting amplifies the tension, making every second feel like an eternity. A glimmer of hope emerges when Mia discovers a small tool hidden among the container's debris. With it, she is able to pry open a section of the container, allowing fresh air and a limited view of the outside world. The sight of the endless ocean is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a reminder of her insignificance in the face of nature's might. Despite the bleakness of her situation, Mia clings to hope, determined to find a way to survive. Her plight takes an even more emotional turn when she discovers she is pregnant. This revelation adds a new layer of urgency to her struggle, transforming her fight for survival into a maternal mission. The unborn child becomes her beacon of hope, giving her a purpose beyond herself. This emotional anchor drives Mia to push beyond her limits, even as the odds stack against her. Her interactions with the baby, talking to it, singing lullabies, and finding solace in its presence, are some of the film's most touching moments. The container becomes both a prison and a sanctuary. Mia's ingenuity shines as she devises ways to collect rainwater, using the container's structure to her advantage. Every small victory is a testament to her resilience, but the challenges are relentless. The ocean is unforgiving, its waves battering the container and threatening to capsize it at any moment. Mia's struggle against the elements is visceral, capturing the sheer force of nature and the fragility of human life. Mia's journey is punctuated by moments of profound isolation and fleeting hope. The sound design plays a crucial role in immersing the audience in her experience. The constant groaning of the container's metal, the distant cries of seagulls, and the rhythmic crash of waves create a sensory experience that mirrors Mia's mental and emotional state. Her isolation is palpable, and her moments of despair are deeply human, making her eventual triumphs all the more powerful. As the story progresses, Mia's determination grows stronger. She begins to find ways to adapt to her environment, using her limited resources with remarkable ingenuity. Her connection to her unborn child becomes a source of strength, a reminder of why she must endure. The film's pacing during this section is relentless, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats as Mia navigates one challenge after another. A turning point comes when Mia spots a distant ship on the horizon. The sight ignites a renewed sense of hope, but it is fleeting. Her attempts to signal the ship are unsuccessful, and the crushing reality of her isolation sets in once again. This moment is a stark reminder of the fragility of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. But it also serves as a catalyst for Mia's transformation, pushing her to find new reserves of strength and resilience. Mia's story is one of survival, not just in the physical sense, but also emotionally and mentally. The film captures her inner struggle with remarkable authenticity, showing her moments of doubt, fear, and anger. Yet, through it all, Mia's determination never wavers. Her fight is not just for herself, but for the life she carries within her. It is this maternal instinct that drives her forward, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The first half of Nowhere is a masterclass in tension and storytelling. It sets the stage for a journey that is as much about the human spirit as it is about survival. Mia's struggle is universal, a reminder of the strength and resilience we all possess in the face of adversity. The film's ability to balance raw, edge-of-your-seat suspense with moments of profound emotional depth makes it a cinematic experience that lingers long after the credits roll. As Mia's harrowing journey continues, the story delves even deeper into her unyielding fight for survival and the depths of her resourcefulness. The fragile calm she manages to find in moments is constantly interrupted by new threats and challenges. The vastness of the ocean is both a haunting backdrop and a metaphor for her isolation, and every sound, every wave, and every shadow becomes a part of her struggle. After spotting and failing to signal the distant ship, Mia's morale takes a significant hit. The despair of missed rescue sinks in, but her determination to survive resurfaces stronger. The stormy weather that once threatened her existence now brings an unexpected opportunity: rain. Mia ingeniously collects the rainwater using a tarp-like material she has torn from the container's inner lining. Each drop she collects feels like a victory, a small triumph in the face of nature's relentless power. This newfound water supply momentarily relieves one of her biggest survival challenges, allowing her to focus on other pressing needs. But the ocean isn't done testing her. As days turn into weeks, Mia begins to notice the deterioration of her physical and mental state. Malnutrition weakens her, and the emotional toll of solitude begins to take its grip. The film captures her descent into moments of delirium, where the lines between reality and hallucination blur. She imagines Nico's voice calling out to her, a bittersweet comfort that fuels both hope and despair. Yet, her unborn child keeps her tethered to reality. She whispers stories to the baby, tells it of the life they'll share once they're free, and these moments of connection reveal the profound emotional core of her character. A pivotal moment arrives when the container drifts into a region populated by jellyfish. At first, it seems like a serene, almost otherworldly visual, a break from the bleakness of her journey. The luminous creatures glow softly around the container, a brief and breathtaking sight. But this beauty hides danger. Soon larger predators, attracted by the jellyfish, begin circling. A shark, massive and menacing, becomes a tangible threat. Mia's vulnerability is stark against this apex predator, and her ingenuity is tested yet again. She uses the sharp edge of her tool to create vibrations in the water, a gamble to confuse the shark and keep it at bay. As the days stretch on, Mia's resourcefulness is pushed to its limits. She crafts a makeshift fishing line, using her clothing as bait, and manages to catch a small fish. The raw meal is her first sustenance in days, a moment that brings a mix of relief and revulsion. Each bite is a reminder of what she's willing to endure to survive. The container, once her prison, now becomes her fortress, a fragile sanctuary that she learns to adapt to in ingenious ways. The narrative reaches its emotional peak when Mia goes into labor. The solitude that she has managed to navigate so far becomes a terrifying reality as she realizes she must deliver her baby alone. The storm outside mirrors the turmoil within, as thunder and lightning crash in tandem with her screams. The tension is unbearable, and the scene is a raw depiction of both physical and emotional endurance. The filmmakers masterfully balance the visceral intensity of childbirth with moments of profound beauty, as Mia's connection to her child becomes the ultimate testament to her resilience. When the baby is finally born, Mia's joy is overwhelming. She holds her child close, whispering promises of safety and a future filled with love. The bond between mother and child is portrayed with such tenderness that it becomes the heart of the story. This new life reignites Mia's determination, giving her a renewed sense of purpose. However, the ocean remains an unforgiving adversary. The container begins to take on water, and Mia realizes that her time is running out. She constructs a makeshift raft from pieces of the container's lining and debris, securing herself and the baby as best as she can. This final act of defiance against the odds is both desperate and inspiring. The scenes of her navigating the open water with her newborn are harrowing, a stark reminder of the thin line between hope and despair. The climax comes when Mia spots land on the horizon. The sight is almost too good to be true, and the audience is left holding their breath, wondering if it's real or another cruel trick of her mind. As she paddles toward it, the last of her strength waning, the tension is almost unbearable. Every wave, every gust of wind feels like an obstacle placed deliberately to test her resolve. When Mia finally reaches the shore, the relief is palpable. She collapses onto the sand, cradling her baby, the weight of her journey evident in every breath. The film doesn't end with fanfare or dramatic reunions, but with a quiet moment of triumph. Mia's journey is complete, her resilience and love for her child carrying her through an ordeal that would break most. In its final moments, Nowhere leaves the audience with a sense of awe at the human spirit's capacity to endure. Mia's story is a testament to strength, resourcefulness, and the power of hope in even the darkest of times. The film's conclusion isn't just about survival. It's about the triumph of love and determination over insurmountable odds. The journey may be over, but its emotional resonance lingers, a story of survival and humanity that leaves a lasting impact. Mia's character in Nowhere is an embodiment of resilience, resourcefulness, and the indomitable spirit of a mother. From the very beginning of the film, Mia is portrayed as a complex and multifaceted individual, balancing a harrowing past with the immediate demands of her fight for survival. Her journey, both physical and emotional, is the linchpin of the narrative, and every action she takes reveals deeper layers of her character. Mia's backstory is a silent yet ever-present influence on her decisions. The audience learns through subtle flashbacks and brief monologues about the life she left behind, a world ravaged by political and social chaos. Her departure from this turmoil is not just an escape, but a desperate bid to protect her unborn child. This context establishes Mia as a character defined by her fierce love and unwavering determination. She isn't merely running away. She's running toward a future, however uncertain, where her child might grow up safe. Her ingenuity shines early on when she awakens trapped inside the cargo container. The initial moments of panic are a testament to her vulnerability. She is not a superhero, and the film does not romanticize her struggle. Instead, it showcases her as an ordinary woman thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Mia's ability to adapt is quickly evident as she transforms the limited resources within the container into tools for survival. Each small victory, whether it's finding a way to collect rainwater or fashioning a makeshift fishing line, is a reflection of her resourceful and determined spirit. Emotionally, Mia undergoes a profound transformation. Her isolation forces her to confront her fears and insecurities. The physical desolation mirrors her internal struggle, creating a dual narrative of survival. At times, Mia succumbs to despair, her tears and outbursts capturing the weight of her ordeal. Yet, even in these moments, her strength prevails. Her dialogues with her unborn child are particularly poignant, revealing a tender and nurturing side that contrasts sharply with the raw survival instinct she displays against the elements. As the plot unfolds, Mia's bravery takes on new dimensions. The ocean, with its vastness and unpredictability, becomes both her adversary and her teacher. The shark encounter, for instance, is not just a battle against a predator, but a moment that encapsulates Mia's ability to remain calm and think critically under immense pressure. Her calculated actions in scaring off the shark reflect a mind that refuses to surrender, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Her relationship with her unborn child is the emotional anchor of the film. Mia's whispered conversations and gentle caresses of her belly are acts of love that stand in stark contrast to the harshness of her environment. This bond is beautifully depicted during her labor scene, where the physical pain and emotional turmoil culminate in a moment of pure joy and relief. The birth of her baby is not just the climax of her journey, but also the ultimate testament to her resilience. Mia's physical transformation throughout the film is equally compelling. The toll of her ordeal is evident in her gaunt appearance, sunburned skin, and trembling hands. These visual cues, paired with her moments of exhaustion and pain, create a visceral connection between the audience and her character. Yet, despite her deteriorating physical state, her mental strength only grows. The juxtaposition of her weakening body and strengthening spirit is a powerful narrative device that underscores the film's themes of endurance and hope. Secondary characters, though mostly absent from Mia's immediate surroundings, play crucial roles in shaping her journey. Nico, her husband, is more than a memory. He is a source of hope and a symbol of what Mia is fighting for. The flashbacks of their shared moments provide glimpses into her softer, more carefree side, offering a stark contrast to her present circumstances. Nico's absence is palpable, and his voice, whether real or imagined, becomes a lifeline for Mia in her darkest moments. The ocean itself functions as a silent yet formidable character in Mia's story. Its unpredictability mirrors her internal chaos, while its occasional calmness offers brief moments of solace. The jellyfish scene, where Mia is surrounded by glowing creatures, is a symbolic representation of hope amidst despair. The ocean's dual role as both a threat and a source of awe reflects Mia's complex relationship with her surroundings. The baby, though unable to interact in traditional ways, is a significant character in its own right. As an extension of Mia, the child represents her hope, purpose, and future. The newborn's cries, tiny movements, and even its silence carry immense emotional weight. The child's presence transforms Mia from a lone survivor into a mother whose every decision is driven by the instinct to protect and nurture. Mia's journey is not just a tale of survival, but a deeply human story of love, sacrifice, and resilience. Her character arc is a masterclass in storytelling, with every challenge she faces adding depth to her persona. By the end of the film, Mia is no longer the same person who first boarded the cargo container. She emerges stronger, wiser, and more connected to the world around her. The audience's connection to Mia is a testament to the film's ability to create a relatable and compelling protagonist. Her flaws, fears, and moments of vulnerability make her human, while her courage and determination make her extraordinary. Mia's story is one that resonates on multiple levels, reminding viewers of the incredible strength of the human spirit and the boundless power of a mother's love. Through her, Nowhere delivers a character study that is as profound as it is inspiring. Nowhere is a film packed with incredible storytelling, gripping performances, and the kind of intense atmosphere that stays with viewers long after the credits roll. But beyond what we see on screen, the story of how this movie was made is filled with fascinating, strange, and sometimes downright surprising facts. Let's dive into the behind-the-scenes world of Nowhere, exploring the unique trivia, unusual occurrences, and little-known tidbits that make the film even more remarkable. One of the most intriguing aspects of Nowhere is how its setting was brought to life. The film takes place almost entirely in a shipping container lost at sea, which presented a monumental challenge for the production team. The filmmakers opted for a real, fully functional container that was then modified for shooting. This choice wasn't just for authenticity. It allowed the crew to create a claustrophobic environment that mirrored the protagonist Mia's predicament. However, shooting in such a confined space came with its own set of challenges. Cameras had to be mounted on custom rigs, and the crew often worked in extremely tight quarters, sometimes only inches away from the actors. This setup led to a unique camaraderie among the team, who bonded over the unusual working conditions. Another fascinating fact involves the way the ocean sequences were filmed. While CGI played a significant role in creating the vast, menacing waters, many scenes were shot in an enormous water tank built specifically for the movie. The tank, one of the largest ever constructed for a film, allowed the crew to simulate realistic waves, storms, and lighting conditions. The team also used an innovative combination of LED panels and practical effects to create the illusion of an endless ocean. This approach not only saved costs, but also gave the actors a tangible environment to react to, enhancing the authenticity of their performances. The film's lead actress, Ana Castillo, underwent rigorous preparation to embody Mia's journey of survival. Castillo spent weeks training with a survival expert to learn essential skills such as knot tying, fishing, and constructing makeshift tools. She also worked with a diving coach to master underwater sequences, many of which she performed herself without a stunt double. In one particularly grueling scene, Castillo had to hold her breath for over 2 minutes while submerged, a feat that required months of practice and incredible physical endurance. Behind the scenes, the production faced several unusual challenges, including unpredictable weather conditions. During outdoor shoots for storm scenes, real-life weather events often disrupted filming, forcing the crew to adapt on the fly. On one occasion, a sudden downpour damaged some of the equipment, leading to an impromptu break, during which the cast and crew huddled together in the shipping container for warmth. This unplanned moment of togetherness reportedly inspired some of the film's most heartfelt on-screen interactions. One of the strangest occurrences during production involved a mechanical shark that was used for a key scene. The animatronic shark, nicknamed Bruce Jr. by the crew as a nod to the famous Jaws prop, malfunctioned several times during filming. At one point, the shark's jaw became stuck in an open position, resulting in several unintentionally humorous takes. Despite the technical issues, the crew's persistence paid off, and the final scene with the shark is now one of the most memorable moments in the film. The movie also boasts several Easter eggs and nods to classic survival films. For example, a series of numbers etched into the shipping container's interior is a subtle reference to the coordinates from Life of Pi. Similarly, a stuffed animal seen briefly in Mia's belongings is an homage to Castaway Wilson, the volleyball companion of Tom Hanks' character. These hidden details add an extra layer of enjoyment for eagle-eyed viewers and film enthusiasts. Interestingly, the film script went through multiple rewrites before the final version was locked. Early drafts included a subplot involving another survivor in a separate container, but this idea was ultimately scrapped to focus entirely on Mia's solitary journey. The decision to streamline the story was met with initial resistance from some producers, but it ultimately proved to be the right choice, allowing the film to maintain its intense, intimate tone. The score of Nowhere is another standout element, and its creation is a story in itself. Composer Fernando Velázquez used a combination of traditional orchestration and experimental techniques to craft a soundscape that mirrored Mia's emotional journey. One of the most unique instruments used in the score was a waterphone, which produces eerie, otherworldly sounds perfect for capturing the isolation and tension of the ocean setting. Velázquez also incorporated recordings of actual ocean waves, blending them seamlessly with the music to create an immersive auditory experience. One surprising anecdote from the set involves the film's director, Albert Pinto, who reportedly kept a bottle of seawater on his desk throughout production as a reminder of the story's central theme. This quirky habit became something of a good luck charm for the crew, who began touching the bottle before shooting particularly challenging scenes. Whether it was superstition or coincidence, many credited the ritual with helping them navigate the film's demanding schedule. The dedication of the cast and crew extended to even the smallest details. For instance, the food props used in the container scenes were painstakingly crafted to look authentic, with some items even made edible for Castillo to consume during takes. The production team also consulted marine biologists to ensure that the fish and other sea creatures depicted in the film were accurate to the region where the story is set. Another little-known fact is that the film's title, Nowhere, was a point of contention during the early stages of production. Some members of the creative team felt that the title was too abstract and suggested alternatives like Adrift or Lost at Sea. However, Pinto insisted on Nowhere because of its thematic resonance, symbolizing both Mia's physical predicament and her emotional state. The marketing campaign for Nowhere also included some innovative strategies. In one memorable stunt, a replica of Mia's shipping container was placed in the middle of a busy city square, complete with sound effects and interactive elements that allowed passers-by to experience a slice of the protagonist's ordeal. The activation generated significant buzz and drew attention to the film's unique premise. From the technical innovations to the personal sacrifices of its cast and crew, Nowhere is a film that stands out not only for its on-screen achievements, but also for the remarkable journey of its creation. Nowhere is a film that thrives on its ability to grip the audience with emotionally charged storytelling and meticulously crafted events that reflect deeper themes. When analyzing its key events through a critical lens, the movie reveals layers of meaning that elevated beyond a simple survival story. Let's delve into these events, explore how they shape the film's impact, and unravel its thematic resonance. The opening sequence sets the stage for what is to come. Mia's desperate escape from a war-torn environment is more than a plot device. It is a harrowing commentary on the plight of refugees. The chaos, fear, and confusion depicted as she boards the shipping container evoke a visceral response. This scene critically mirrors the real-world struggles of displaced individuals who leave everything behind in search of safety. By placing the audience squarely in Mia's shoes, the film establishes an immediate emotional connection that lingers throughout the narrative. One of the most significant events in the film occurs when Mia is sealed inside the container and finds herself adrift at sea. The visual contrast between the vast, unending ocean and the confined, oppressive space inside the container is striking. From a critical perspective, this juxtaposition symbolizes the dichotomy of hope and despair. The ocean, though seemingly infinite and liberating, becomes a prison, while the container, small and suffocating, is both her sanctuary and her cage. This duality speaks to the broader theme of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. As the days progress and Mia's situation grows increasingly dire, her discovery of limited supplies is a pivotal moment. This scene is layered with symbolism, reflecting the fragility of human life and the finite nature of resources. Critics have noted that the careful depiction of Mia rationing her food and water serves as an allegory for humanity's relationship with the environment. Her struggle to survive parallels the global challenges of sustainability and resource scarcity, subtly urging viewers to consider their role in preserving the planet. One of the most emotionally charged events is Mia's first encounter with a violent storm. This sequence is a masterclass in tension and visual storytelling. The storm is not just a physical obstacle, but a manifestation of Mia's inner turmoil and fear. As the container is tossed around like a toy in the raging sea, the audience is forced to confront the overwhelming power of nature and its indifference to human suffering. The storm also marks a turning point in Mia's character arc, as she begins to shed her initial helplessness and tap into her inner strength. A key moment that has sparked much critical discussion is Mia's encounter with the shark. This scene, filled with suspense and primal fear, is a metaphor for the dangers that lurk in the unknown. The shark, circling her container like a predator waiting for its prey, represents both an external and internal threat. Externally, it is a reminder of the perilous environment she is trapped in. Internally, it symbolizes her growing anxiety and the mental battle she faces to stay alive. The shark's eventual retreat mirrors Mia's triumph over her fears, highlighting her evolution from victim to survivor. Another event that resonates deeply is Mia's use of ingenuity to create tools and signal for help. These moments are not just about survival, they are a testament to human creativity and determination. Critics have praised the film for its realistic portrayal of problem-solving under extreme conditions. Mia's ability to adapt and innovate is a powerful statement on the importance of resilience and resourcefulness, themes that are universally relatable. The discovery of the baby hidden in the container with Mia is a poignant twist that adds a new layer of complexity to the narrative. The infant, fragile and completely dependent, becomes a catalyst for Mia's transformation. What begins as a solitary fight for survival evolves into a selfless mission to protect another life. This shift in focus underscores the film's exploration of maternal instincts, sacrifice, and the capacity for love even in the bleakest circumstances. The baby's presence also amplifies the stakes, making Mia's journey more compelling and emotionally resonant. One of the climactic moments in the film is Mia's decision to risk her life to signal a passing ship. This act of bravery encapsulates the central theme of hope. Despite the overwhelming odds and numerous setbacks, Mia's refusal to give up is both inspiring and heart-wrenching. The scene, with its breathtaking visuals and heart-pounding tension, leaves a lasting impression on viewers. Critics have lauded this moment as a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and persevere. The resolution of the film, where Mia and the baby are finally rescued, is bittersweet. While there is relief in their survival, the scars of their ordeal are evident. This ending invites critical reflection on the cost of survival and the resilience required to overcome unimaginable challenges. It also serves as a reminder of the millions of real-life refugees who embark on perilous journeys with no guarantee of safety. Thematically, Nowhere resonates deeply because it taps into universal emotions and experiences. At its core, the film is about survival, but it is also about the human capacity for hope, love, and sacrifice. Mia's journey is not just a physical struggle, but an emotional and spiritual one. Her transformation from a desperate refugee to a determined protector is a powerful narrative arc that underscores the resilience of the human spirit. From a critical perspective, the film's impact lies in its ability to balance intense, action-packed sequences with moments of quiet introspection. The pacing is deliberate, allowing viewers to fully immerse themselves in Mia's world. The use of cinematography, particularly the contrast between the claustrophobic interior of the container and the vastness of the ocean, enhances the film's emotional depth. The sound design, with its haunting score and realistic effects, further immerses the audience in Mia's plight. The reception of Nowhere has been overwhelmingly positive, with critics and audiences alike praising its emotional resonance and thematic depth. Many have highlighted its relevance in today's world, where stories of displacement, resilience, and survival are more important than ever. The film's ability to evoke empathy and spark meaningful discussions is a testament to its storytelling power. In conclusion, the critical perspectives on Nowhere reveal a film that is as thought-provoking as it is thrilling. Through its carefully crafted events, rich symbolism, and emotional depth, it transcends the survival genre to deliver a story that lingers in the hearts and minds of its viewers. The making of Nowhere was as compelling as the film itself, filled with innovative approaches, creative problem-solving, and a dedication to authenticity that made the final product to stand out. The production process revealed the crew's passion for crafting a survival story that was both intimate and universally resonant, blending technical expertise with a heartfelt narrative. Here's an immersive journey into the behind-the-scenes world of Nowhere, highlighting its creation, anecdotes from the set, and the dedication that brought it to life. The film was conceived as a deeply personal story, inspired by real-world struggles and human resilience. The filmmakers aimed to craft an environment that mirrored the protagonist Mia's isolation and desperation. This commitment to authenticity shaped every aspect of the production, from set design to the emotional performances. To achieve this, the team chose to shoot much of the film in a controlled studio environment, using a specially constructed container to replicate Mia's confined space. This allowed the cast and crew to manipulate lighting, angles, and effects to convey the claustrophobia and tension that were crucial to the narrative. Constructing the container was an engineering feat. The filmmakers wanted it to look and feel like a real shipping container, complete with rusted walls, peeling paint, and the occasional creak as it floated on simulated waves. The set designers paid meticulous attention to detail, even down to the sound effects of the container's metal groaning under pressure. The confined space also created challenges for the camera team, who had to employ innovative techniques to capture dynamic shots in such a tight area. They used small cameras and custom-built rigs to achieve angles that emphasized the protagonist's vulnerability and resourcefulness. One of the most fascinating aspects of the production was the simulation of the ocean environment. Rather than relying entirely on CGI, the team built a massive water tank to create realistic wave movements and lighting effects. The tank was equipped with hydraulic systems that could simulate storms, calm seas, and everything in between. This decision to use practical effects whenever possible lent the film an authentic texture, ensuring that viewers felt every drop of water, every surge of the waves, and every moment of peril alongside Mia. The lead actress, Ana Castillo, faced a physically and emotionally demanding role. To prepare for her performance, Castillo underwent extensive training, including survival workshops and swimming lessons. She worked closely with a survival expert who taught her skills like rationing food, purifying water, and improvising tools, skills that her character would realistically need. Castillo also spent time in the container set to familiarize herself with its dimensions and limitations, ensuring that her movements and reactions felt natural. The relationship between Castillo and the baby actor who played the infant was another crucial element of the production. The filmmakers were acutely aware of the challenges of working with a young child on set, so they hired child actors who were twins to ensure smooth transitions during shoots. The twins' mother was always present, helping the team create a safe and comfortable environment. Interestingly, the scenes with the baby required extraordinary patience, as the crew often had to wait for the right expressions or reactions to capture the emotional depth needed for the story. One of the most surprising stories from the set involved an impromptu decision during filming. In one scene, Castillo was supposed to use a makeshift mirror to reflect sunlight as a distress signal. However, the reflective surface accidentally caught the light in such a way that it illuminated her face with an almost ethereal glow. The director decided to keep this unplanned moment in the film, as it beautifully underscored Mia's determination and the hope she clung to despite her circumstances. The production also faced significant challenges, particularly with the water scenes. Maintaining safety while creating realistic storm conditions was a delicate balance. The crew used harnesses, flotation devices, and professional divers to ensure Castillo's safety during these sequences. There was one incident where the hydraulic system controlling the waves malfunctioned, creating a much rougher sea than intended. Castillo, showing incredible professionalism, stayed in character and delivered a performance so raw and gripping that it became one of the most memorable scenes in the film. Another intriguing aspect of the film's creation was the use of sound design to enhance the storytelling. The sound team spent weeks recording ambient noises, from the crashing of waves to the eerie silence inside the container. They also used Foley techniques to replicate the sounds of Mia's actions, such as tearing fabric, rummaging through supplies, and tapping on the container walls. The result was an immersive auditory experience that drew viewers deeper into Mia's world. The film's post-production process was equally meticulous. The editing team worked tirelessly to maintain a balance between tension and relief, ensuring that the pacing kept audiences on edge without becoming overwhelming. Color grading played a significant role in setting the mood. The desaturated tones inside the container contrasted sharply with the deep blues and grays of the ocean, reinforcing the protagonist's isolation. Visual effects were sparingly used to enhance the practical footage, adding elements like distant storms or fleeting glimpses of passing ships. The crew's camaraderie was another highlight of the production. Despite the intense subject matter and physically demanding shoots, the set was known for its supportive and collaborative atmosphere. The director frequently held discussions with the cast and crew, encouraging them to share their insights and ideas. This openness fostered a sense of unity and purpose, which translated into the film's cohesive storytelling. One fun anecdote from the set involves a scene where Mia improvises a fishing line. During rehearsals, Castillo accidentally caught a small fish in the water tank, which led to an impromptu celebration among the crew. The moment was so delightful that it became an inside joke throughout the production, symbolizing the small victories that Mia experiences in her struggle for survival. The film's promotional campaign also offered a glimpse into the creative minds behind the production. The marketing team released a series of behind-the-scenes featurettes that showcased the making of key scenes, highlighting the dedication and ingenuity of the cast and crew. These glimpses into the filmmaking process not only built anticipation for the film, but also deepened viewers' appreciation for the craftsmanship involved. Ultimately, Nowhere stands as a testament to the power of storytelling and the dedication required to bring such a vision to life. Every aspect of the production, from the meticulously designed sets to the emotionally charged performances, contributed to a film that is as impactful as it is unforgettable. The insights and anecdotes from behind the scenes reveal a team united by their passion for creating a story that resonates deeply with audiences worldwide. The setting of Nowhere is one of the most striking and essential elements of its storytelling, serving as a character in its own right. The film places its protagonist, Mia, in the isolated and perilous confines of a shipping container adrift at sea. This claustrophobic yet vast setting profoundly influences the narrative, emphasizing themes of survival, isolation, and the relentless human spirit. Let's journey into how the filmmakers crafted this compelling world and how its cinematic elements bring Mia's harrowing story to life. The decision to set the majority of the film inside a single container was bold, requiring an exceptional level of creativity to maintain visual and narrative engagement. The container itself becomes a microcosm of survival, its rusted walls and limited space mirroring Mia's emotional and physical struggles. The art department meticulously designed the container to feel authentic, with every dent, scratch, and weathered surface telling its own story. The space is both a sanctuary and a trap, a place where Mia must rely on her ingenuity to survive while battling the oppressive solitude it imposes. To create an authentic sense of being lost at sea, the filmmakers chose to film much of the ocean sequences in a controlled water tank environment. This allowed for precise control over lighting, wave motion, and atmospheric effects. The water tank was equipped with hydraulic systems to simulate various sea conditions, from tranquil surfaces to violent storms. These practical effects were enhanced by subtle CGI touches, such as extending the horizon or adding distant ships, creating a seamless blend of reality and digital artistry. The vastness of the ocean, juxtaposed with the confined space of the container, plays a crucial role in the film's atmosphere. The open sea, while visually stunning, also represents danger and isolation. Cinematographer insights reveal how wide-angle shots of the ocean were used to evoke feelings of insignificance, while tight, close-up shots inside the container conveyed Mia's vulnerability and resourcefulness. The use of contrasting perspectives keeps the audience immersed in Mia's dual battle against the elements and her own fears. Lighting is another critical element in shaping the film's tone. The interior of the container is lit sparingly, often relying on natural light sources like a sliver of sunlight or the dim glow of Mia's makeshift lantern. This choice not only heightens the realism, but also adds a layer of visual storytelling. Shadows and dim light are used to emphasize Mia's uncertainty and the threats she faces, while brighter scenes mark moments of hope and discovery. For example, a moment where sunlight streams through a crack in the container symbolizes a fleeting sense of relief and connection to the outside world. Sound design further enhances the setting's immersive quality. The filmmakers paid careful attention to the ambient noises that define Mia's world, the rhythmic lapping of waves, the groaning metal of the container, and the distant cries of seagulls. These sounds create an auditory landscape that pulls the audience into Mia's experience, making every creak and splash feel immediate and tangible. The silence inside the container, broken only by Mia's movements and breathing, underscores her solitude and heightens the tension. The ocean, though vast and seemingly empty, is brought to life through cinematography and visual storytelling. The color palette shifts subtly throughout the film, reflecting Mia's psychological state and the narrative's progression. Early scenes are dominated by muted blues and grays, emphasizing desolation and despair. As Mia's journey unfolds and her resilience shines through, warmer tones and brighter hues begin to emerge, suggesting a shift in mood and an undercurrent of hope. One of the most visually striking sequences involves a nighttime storm, where the interplay of lightning, waves, and Mia's desperate attempts to secure her container create a scene of chaos and beauty. The cinematographers used a combination of strobe lights and carefully timed water jets to create the illusion of crashing waves illuminated by lightning strikes. The result is a visceral, almost hypnotic sequence that places viewers directly in the eye of the storm. The filmmakers also used symbolic visual motifs to deepen the story's impact. The container, for instance, serves as a metaphor for both entrapment and survival. It is a physical barrier between Mia and the sea, but it also becomes a tool for her ingenuity and perseverance. Similarly, the ocean symbolizes both freedom and danger, a duality that mirrors Mia's internal struggle. The attention to detail extends to the props and set dressing within the container. Each object Mia interacts with, whether it's a scrap of fabric, a piece of metal, or a ration of water, feels deliberate and meaningful. These items are not only practical tools for her survival, but also symbols of her resourcefulness and determination. The filmmakers ensured that every prop served a narrative purpose, reinforcing the film's themes and Mia's character arc. One of the challenges of setting a film in such a confined space is maintaining visual variety and avoiding monotony. The filmmakers overcame this by constantly shifting the camera's perspective and experimenting with angles. Overhead shots, close-ups, and point-of-view perspectives are used to create a sense of dynamism and keep the audience engaged. This approach also allows viewers to experience the container from Mia's perspective, heightening their empathy for her plight. The choice to film in a water tank, rather than relying solely on CGI, added an element of realism that resonates throughout the film. Practical effects such as splashing water and floating debris lend a tactile quality to the scenes that would be difficult to achieve with digital effects alone. The filmmakers also employed real-time weather effects, including wind machines and rain rigs, to create a sense of immediacy and authenticity. The interplay between setting and character is particularly evident in how Mia transforms the container from a prison into a livable space. Her ingenuity in repurposing everyday objects and adapting to her surroundings becomes a testament to human resilience. The filmmakers highlighted this transformation through subtle changes in the container's appearance, such as the addition of makeshift shelves or the rearrangement of supplies. These visual cues reflect Mia's evolving mindset and her determination to survive. As the story progresses, the setting begins to feel less like a static backdrop and more like an active participant in Mia's journey. The ocean, with its unpredictable moods and ever-changing landscapes, mirrors Mia's emotional turmoil and growth. Scenes of calm seas juxtaposed with violent storms create a rhythm that keeps the audience emotionally invested, while the container itself evolves into a symbol of Mia's indomitable spirit. The film's use of setting and cinematic elements ultimately elevates its storytelling, transforming a simple survival tale into a profound exploration of the human condition. By immersing viewers in Mia's world through meticulous attention to detail and innovative visual techniques, the filmmakers created an experience that is as gripping as it is visually stunning. In Nowhere, the setting is not just a backdrop, but a vital force that shapes the narrative, enriching the film's atmosphere and deepening its emotional resonance. Post-production brought its own set of challenges, particularly in balancing practical effects with CGI. The visual effects team worked tirelessly to enhance the ocean's appearance, ensuring it felt both vast and menacing. Meanwhile, the editing team focused on maintaining the film's pacing, carefully selecting shots that captured the raw intensity of Mia's struggle. The collaborative spirit of the production carried into this phase, with input from all departments helping to shape the final cut. Ultimately, the making of Nowhere was a testament to the power of creativity, perseverance, and teamwork. The cast and crew overcame countless obstacles to deliver a film that is both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. Their shared commitment to bringing Mia's story to life is evident in every frame, making Nowhere not just a tale of survival, but also a celebration of the human spirit, both on screen and behind the scenes. Nowhere 2023 is a film that transcends its surface-level survival narrative to explore profound themes of isolation, resilience, and human connection. These themes are intricately woven into the plot and the symbolism embedded in every frame, creating a cinematic experience that resonates long after the credits roll. The film follows Mia, a young woman trapped in a shipping container adrift in the vast ocean, and through her struggle for survival, the film dives deep into the psyche of its protagonist, examining how physical isolation mirrors internal emotional isolation. One of the primary themes explored in Nowhere is the struggle for survival against seemingly insurmountable odds. Mia's journey is a test of not just her physical endurance, but her mental fortitude. The film showcases how the human spirit can endure in the face of overwhelming adversity, highlighting the resilience needed to survive a crisis when hope seems lost. This theme of survival is not just about the basic need for food, water, and shelter, but also about the internal battle one must face when cut off from the outside world. Mia's plight is not only an external one, fighting for survival on the ocean, but also an internal one, grappling with the emotional scars of her past. This dual struggle creates a multi-layered experience for the viewer, allowing them to connect with Mia not just on a physical level, but on a psychological one as well. The vast, empty ocean is a powerful symbol throughout the film, representing both the isolation and the possibility of escape. The setting itself is perhaps the most significant symbol in Nowhere. The ocean, with its endless horizon and unpredictable temperament, reflects Mia's state of mind. Initially, it is a place of hopelessness and despair, a never-ending void that mirrors her emotional isolation. But as the film progresses, the ocean becomes a symbol of liberation, offering Mia a chance for freedom, but only if she can overcome her own fears and limitations. In this way, the ocean becomes a character in its own right, not just a backdrop for the action, but a force that influences Mia's journey. The setting's vastness emphasizes the themes of helplessness and struggle, as the expanse of water makes Mia feel small and insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Another key theme explored in the film is the human drive for connection. Despite her isolation, Mia's thoughts constantly drift to her family and the life she left behind. Her memories serve as a reminder of what she has lost and what she hopes to regain. The presence of these memories shapes her will to survive, acting as a tether to her past and a motivating force that pushes her forward. As Mia confronts her own vulnerabilities and fears, the film delves into the idea that survival is not just about existing, but about holding onto those connections that make life worth living. This theme is also explored through the limited interactions Mia has with objects inside the container. Even these seemingly insignificant items take on deeper meaning, symbolizing the connection to a life that now feels distant and almost unreachable. The theme of sacrifice is also central to Nowhere. Throughout the film, Mia is forced to make difficult choices, often at the expense of her own comfort and safety. These moments of sacrifice reflect the broader theme of personal growth and the realization that survival sometimes requires letting go of something precious in order to move forward. This is most apparent during the more intense moments in the film, when Mia has to weigh her survival against the well-being of others. Each choice she makes, whether it's risking her own safety or enduring unbearable discomfort, becomes a reflection of her internal conflict and the sacrifices she is willing to make to survive. The film does not shy away from exploring the brutal reality of such decisions, showing that survival is not only about physical endurance, but about the emotional and moral sacrifices that come with it. As the plot unfolds, Nowhere also touches on themes of hope and despair. Mia's emotional arc is largely defined by her fluctuating relationship with these two opposing forces. There are moments when hope seems entirely out of reach, and despair threatens to take over. Yet, in the face of these overwhelming feelings, Mia finds small moments of grace, whether it's a flicker of hope from a distant rescue ship or the quiet strength of her own resolve, that keep her fighting. These moments of hope are crucial to the film's emotional resonance, reminding the audience that even in the most desperate situations, the smallest spark of hope can ignite the will to survive. Symbolism in Nowhere is intricately tied to these themes, with many elements of the film acting as metaphors for Mia's emotional and physical state. One of the most striking symbols is the shipping container itself. At first glance, the container is a simple, utilitarian object, but as the story progresses, it becomes a powerful symbol of both entrapment and protection. The container is at once a prison and a refuge, a place that both confines Mia and keeps her safe from the dangers of the ocean. It's in this duality that the film explores the complex nature of survival. The container, much like Mia's emotional state, is a space that is both a source of suffering and a means of salvation. It represents the tension between the desire for freedom and the necessity of safety, a theme that plays out not just in Mia's physical journey, but in her psychological evolution as well. The presence of water, both inside and outside the container, also serves as a potent symbol throughout the film. Water is traditionally a symbol of life and purity, but in Nowhere, it often represents the danger and uncertainty that Mia faces. The rising water inside the container is a constant reminder of her vulnerability, as she must navigate not only the physical challenges of surviving on a flooded floor, but also the psychological weight of her impending doom. Yet, water also symbolizes renewal. As Mia learns to navigate the space and take control of her environment, the water transforms from a threat into a symbol of rebirth. It's in this dynamic relationship with water that Mia's character arc is most clearly expressed. Her gradual acceptance of her circumstances and her ability to adapt and fight for survival. The interplay between light and shadow in Nowhere is another important symbol that underscores the film's themes. As Mia drifts through the ocean, the light often symbolizes hope and clarity, while the shadows represent the unknown and the fears that Mia must confront. The stark contrast between these two elements heightens the film's emotional tension, creating a visual representation of Mia's internal battle. When the light is present, Mia is able to find clarity and focus, but when the shadows take over, she is consumed by fear and doubt. This visual metaphor reinforces the theme of survival as a battle between light and darkness, both externally in the world around Mia and internally within her mind. The film also uses silence as a form of symbolism. Much of the film is set in a confined space, where sound is muffled, and the silence becomes a character in itself. This silence mirrors Mia's emotional isolation, forcing her to confront her own thoughts and feelings without distraction. The absence of sound is particularly poignant in moments when Mia faces her most intense struggles, allowing the audience to fully experience her sense of loneliness and desperation. The moments of silence become a canvas on which Mia's emotional and physical journey is painted, highlighting the tension between survival and surrender. As the film progresses, Mia's interactions with the few objects she has inside the container also carry symbolic weight. The items are not just tools for survival. They represent her memories, her hopes, and her desires. A small photograph of her family, a letter from a loved one. These objects serve as the anchors that keep Mia connected to her humanity in the midst of the chaos surrounding her. They symbolize the importance of holding onto one's identity and relationships, even when everything else is stripped away. In conclusion, Nowhere is a film that uses its themes and symbolism to explore the complexities of survival, isolation, and human connection. The ocean, the container, and even the smallest personal items all carry deep symbolic meaning, reflecting Mia's emotional and physical journey. The film invites the audience to consider the dual nature of survival, how it requires not just endurance of the body, but also resilience of the spirit. Through its vivid symbolism and exploration of universal themes, Nowhere becomes a meditation on what it means to be human in the face of extreme adversity. Nowhere 2023 is a masterclass in filmmaking that combines innovative techniques with gripping storytelling to create a cinematic experience that immerses the audience into the harrowing world of isolation and survival. The film employs a variety of filmmaking techniques that shape the atmosphere and tone, enhancing the emotional resonance of the story while maintaining a high level of suspense throughout. Through sound design, editing, and camera work, Nowhere keeps its viewers on the edge of their seats, allowing them to experience the claustrophobia of its setting and the intense emotions of the protagonist, Mia. One of the most notable aspects of Nowhere is its use of cinematography to amplify the sense of isolation and confinement. The film is set almost entirely within the cramped and suffocating confines of a shipping container floating in the middle of the ocean. This choice of location provides the filmmakers with a unique opportunity to experiment with camera work to portray the protagonist's mental and physical state. In the early moments of the film, the camera is used to create a sense of vast emptiness, reflecting Mia's feelings of helplessness as she is stranded with no way out. The wide shots of the endless ocean are juxtaposed with close-ups of Mia inside the container, emphasizing the stark contrast between the infinite and the claustrophobic. This visual contrast reinforces the theme of being trapped between two worlds, one filled with opportunity and hope, the other dominated by despair. As the film progresses, the cinematography begins to shift, reflecting Mia's evolving emotional state. In the early stages of the film, the camera often lingers on the confined space within the container, using tight shots to create a feeling of tension and entrapment. However, as Mia grows more resourceful and determined to survive, the camera movements become slightly more fluid, mirroring her growing sense of agency. This progression in camera work not only enhances the audience's connection to Mia's character, but also provides a visual representation of her inner transformation. The filmmakers use subtle changes in camera angles and movement to illustrate Mia's increasing ability to navigate the space and confront the challenges around her, reinforcing the theme of personal growth and survival. Another important aspect of the film's cinematography is the use of lighting. The film relies heavily on natural light, particularly during moments when Mia is forced to confront the harsh reality of her situation. The interplay between light and shadow creates a stark contrast between hope and despair, further enhancing the emotional intensity of the narrative. When Mia is in the darkest moments of her struggle, the lighting is dim and harsh, casting long shadows that emphasize her isolation. Conversely, when Mia experiences moments of hope, the lighting becomes softer and more natural, symbolizing her connection to the outside world and her desire to escape her predicament. This interplay between light and darkness not only contributes to the visual aesthetic of the film, but also serves as a symbolic reflection of Mia's internal conflict. The use of sound in Nowhere is another key component that contributes to the film's overall atmosphere. Sound design plays a critical role in immersing the audience in Mia's world, where every sound is heightened due to the isolation of her environment. The absence of external noise from the outside world intensifies the tension, with the film score and ambient sounds taking center stage. The soundtrack, composed by a talented composer, complements the visual elements by subtly enhancing the emotional landscape of the film. During moments of intense drama, the music swells, creating a sense of urgency and heightening the stakes. On the other hand, quieter moments are underscored with minimalist soundscapes, allowing the audience to focus on the intimate details of Mia's survival and emotional state. One of the most striking aspects of the film's sound design is the use of silence to create tension. In a setting as isolated as Mia's, silence becomes a powerful tool. There are long stretches where the only sound is the creaking of the container, the faint lapping of water against the sides, and Mia's own breathing. These moments of silence amplify the feeling of entrapment and make the audience feel the weight of Mia's solitude. The lack of external stimuli means that every sound is amplified, making even the smallest noise, a splash of water, a crack in the container, feel significant. This heightened sense of sound is critical in keeping the viewer engaged, as it reinforces the claustrophobic atmosphere and the psychological intensity of Mia's situation. The film also employs strategic use of editing to maintain pacing and build tension. The editing is deliberate, with slow cuts during moments of reflection or contemplation, contrasted with faster-paced sequences when Mia faces immediate danger or urgent challenges. This rhythm in editing creates a visceral experience for the viewer, drawing them into Mia's emotional state. During high-stakes moments, the editing becomes more rapid, with quick cuts between Mia's reactions and the surrounding environment. These shifts in pacing create a sense of urgency and help to heighten the tension, keeping the audience on edge as they watch Mia struggle to survive. Moreover, the editing style reflects the themes of disorientation and fragmented reality that Mia experiences throughout the film. The film uses quick cuts and flashbacks to represent Mia's fragmented memories of the life she once had. These brief, disjointed glimpses into her past provide insight into her character and motivations, allowing the audience to understand what she is fighting for as she battles to survive. The nonlinear structure of these flashbacks also mirrors Mia's state of mind, illustrating how the trauma of her situation distorts her perception of time and reality. The editing techniques used in Nowhere allow the audience to experience Mia's mental and emotional disarray, adding another layer of complexity to the narrative. When it comes to the box office, Nowhere faced both challenges and triumphs in its release. The film, though not backed by a major studio, garnered significant attention for its unique premise and its ability to create a high level of tension within a single, confined setting. The limited scope of the film and the reliance on a small cast made it a relatively low-budget production, which could have posed challenges in terms of marketing and distribution. However, Nowhere found success in reaching an international audience, particularly through digital streaming platforms, where word-of-mouth recommendations and social media buzz helped to drive its success. The film's strong performances, combined with its unique visual and auditory style, contributed to its ability to resonate with viewers on a global scale. In terms of its critical reception, Nowhere was praised for its innovative approach to storytelling and its ability to create an intense and immersive experience despite the minimalistic setting. The film's cinematography, sound design, and editing were all highlighted as key elements that contributed to its success, with many reviewers noting how these technical aspects elevated the story and deepened the emotional impact. Critics also applauded the film's thematic depth, particularly its exploration of isolation, survival, and personal growth. The combination of strong filmmaking techniques and a compelling story helped Nowhere to carve out its place in the competitive world of cinema, proving that a well-executed, character-driven narrative can stand out even without a large budget or extravagant set pieces. Overall, Nowhere showcases how powerful filmmaking techniques such as innovative cinematography, sound design, editing, and pacing can elevate a film and create a truly immersive experience. These elements, combined with the film's strong thematic underpinnings and gripping narrative, help to create a sense of tension, vulnerability, and resilience that keeps the audience invested from start to finish. The film's success both critically and commercially is a testament to the power of craftsmanship in filmmaking and the importance of using every aspect of the cinematic language to enhance the storytelling experience. Whether through the subtle use of silence, the interplay of light and shadow, or the fast-paced editing during moments of crisis, Nowhere proves that filmmaking is an art form that can be used to transport viewers into a world of emotional and psychological complexity, making them feel every moment of the protagonist's struggle. The cast of Nowhere, 2023, is an essential part of the film's ability to engage its audience and create an emotional connection. The performances, particularly those of the lead actors, breathe life into the story, making it relatable and emotionally impactful despite the isolation and minimalistic setting. This reliance on a small cast is both a challenge and a strength, allowing for a deep exploration of the protagonist's psyche and making every interaction and moment of silence significant. The central character of the film, Mia, is portrayed by Ana Castillo, a Spanish actress known for her versatile performances in both television and film. Castillo's portrayal of Mia is nothing short of captivating. The role demands a delicate balance of vulnerability, strength, and determination, as Mia is a young woman thrown into a harrowing survival scenario. Castillo expertly conveys Mia's emotional and psychological journey, from the initial shock of her situation to the growing resilience she develops as the film progresses. Mia's evolution from fear and confusion to empowerment is portrayed with subtlety and depth, making her one of the most compelling characters of recent survival films. In interviews, Castillo discussed the challenges she faced while filming Nowhere, particularly the physical and mental toll of portraying a character in such a confined, high-stress environment. She shared how she had to immerse herself in Mia's isolation, allowing her to truly feel the claustrophobia and despair of being trapped in a small, floating container. Castillo explained that much of her performance relied on internalized emotions, as there were very few opportunities for dialogue or interactions with other characters. Instead, she had to communicate the depth of Mia's experience through body language, facial expressions, and minimal but powerful line delivery. The result is a performance that captures the audience's attention and keeps them invested in Mia's journey, even when she is alone for long stretches of the film. In supporting roles, the film features Tony Garrido, who plays a fellow survivor. Garrido's performance adds a layer of tension and complexity to the plot, as his character brings both hope and danger to Mia's situation. Garrido's portrayal of a man who is both a potential ally and a potential threat is nuanced, allowing the audience to question his motives throughout the film. His chemistry with Castillo is palpable, making their interaction some of the most suspenseful and emotionally charged moments in the film. While the film focuses primarily on Mia's internal struggle, Garrido's character serves as a catalyst for her emotional growth, and their interactions drive much of the latter half of the film. In interviews, Garrido discussed how he had to tap into the raw emotions of fear, desperation, and the survival instinct, which ultimately allowed his character to act unpredictably. He mentioned the challenge of balancing his character's desire for survival with his need for companionship in such a desolate setting. These conflicting desires made his role an exciting one to play, as he was constantly navigating the blurred lines between helping and hindering Mia's progress. The film's director, John Kaliii, has a reputation for working with strong performances, having previously directed films like The Shallows, 2016, and Jungle Cruise, 2021. Kaliii has a knack for crafting high-stakes survival stories, and his work in Nowhere continues this tradition. In interviews, Kaliii explained how he approached the film's cast and set. He emphasized that much of the film's emotional weight fell on the performances of the lead actors, and he worked closely with Castillo and Garrido to ensure that their portrayals were authentic and compelling. Kaliii also discussed the difficulty of creating a film set almost entirely in one confined space. He noted how the limited physical environment required the actors to create emotional depth through their performances, as the film's success depended entirely on the audience's ability to connect with the characters. The interaction between Castillo, Garrido, and the director was essential to the film's success. Both actors spoke about how Kaliii's leadership on set was crucial in maintaining the tension and atmosphere that Nowhere required. Castillo noted that Kaliii was particularly adept at creating a sense of isolation for the cast, despite being on a set with a crew and cameras. She mentioned that he would often take them through the emotional beats of each scene, helping them understand their characters' motivations and emotions in the context of the story. This collaboration between director and cast resulted in a film that feels both intimate and emotionally intense, drawing the audience into the world of Mia and her survival. As for audience reviews, Nowhere has sparked a wide range of reactions, from praise for its tense atmosphere and performances to critiques regarding the pacing and its minimalist approach. Many viewers have praised Ana Castillo's performance, with several commenting on how her ability to convey so much with so little dialogue created a deep emotional connection to the character. One reviewer on a popular film discussion site noted that Castillo's portrayal of Mia is a masterclass in subtlety. She makes you feel every moment of isolation and every step toward survival. This sentiment was echoed by multiple viewers, who appreciated how the actress made them empathize with Mia's struggle even in the most silent, desolate moments. The film's minimalist setting also received praise for its ability to build tension. Many audience members were surprised by how such a simple and confined space could feel so vast and full of potential danger. The film's cinematography and sound design were frequently mentioned in reviews as integral to this sense of space. As one reviewer put it, "The container is a prison, but it feels like an entire world unto itself. Every creak, every ripple of water is amplified, and it makes you feel like you're trapped right alongside Mia." However, not all reviews were glowing. Some viewers felt that the film's slow pacing, particularly in the first half, made it difficult to stay engaged. A few commented on how the lack of dialogue and the drawn-out sequences of Mia's struggle made the film feel like it was dragging at times. One review on a movie review blog mentioned, "While I appreciated the film's commitment to realism, there were moments where I wished there was more action or interaction. The pace could have been tightened up to keep the suspense up." Despite these criticisms, Nowhere has generally been well received, especially for its emotional depth and the way it highlights the theme of survival in the most extreme circumstances. The film's exploration of isolation, resourcefulness, and the human will to survive resonated with many viewers. Some even compared the film to other survival classics, such as Cast Away, 2000, or 127 Hours, 2010, noting that Nowhere shares similar themes of endurance and self-reliance. The film's ending also sparked significant discussion among audiences. While some found the conclusion to be uplifting and satisfying, others felt it left too many unanswered questions. One common critique was that the ending felt somewhat abrupt, leaving some viewers wanting more closure. However, Many agreed that the film's open-ended conclusion added to the overall tension and uncertainty of Mia's journey. As one viewer commented, "The ending leaves you hanging. But that's what makes the film so powerful. It's a reminder that survival is never as clean-cut as we want it to be." In interviews with film critics, many noted how Nowhere's portrayal of survival through minimalism and internal conflict was an effective way of keeping the audience engaged. The combination of Castillo's performance, Kaliii's direction, and the film's technical elements created a gripping narrative that doesn't rely on bombastic action sequences, but instead focuses on the raw, emotional truth of human endurance. The film's ability to leave the audience questioning their own limits, both physically and emotionally, is what has made it stand out as a unique entry in the survival genre. In summary, Nowhere 2023 offers a compelling narrative brought to life by a talented cast and a director who knows how to maintain tension in a confined space. The performances, particularly from Ana Castillo and Tony Garrido, drive the emotional core of the film, while the cinematography, sound design, and editing create a palpable sense of isolation and suspense. Audience reviews have been generally positive, with many praising the film for its emotional depth, even as some viewers wished for a faster pace. Whether lauded for its minimalist storytelling or critiqued for its slower moments, Nowhere has successfully captured the power of survival against the odds, making it a memorable entry into the genre. Nowhere 2023 has captured the attention of moviegoers and critics alike with its haunting portrayal of survival and isolation. From its minimalist setting to its complex character study, the film takes audiences on a raw, emotional journey through the human experience of fear, resilience, and hope. Today, we've explored the major components of the film, from the detailed plot breakdown, the remarkable performances of the cast, to the unique filmmaking techniques that made Nowhere stand out. Let's take a moment to recap the key points and highlight what makes this movie such a compelling addition to the survival genre. The story of Nowhere revolves around Mia, a young woman trapped in a small container after a harrowing event. The film's premise is simple, yet it is this simplicity that makes it so powerful. As Mia faces the dangers of being alone in an unforgiving environment, her psychological and emotional journey takes center stage. The film doesn't rely on flashy action or complex plot devices. Instead, it focuses on Mia's internal struggle, her moments of despair, and her eventual growth as a survivor. Ana Castillo's performance as Mia is the heart of the film. Her portrayal of a woman trapped both physically and emotionally in a confined space is nothing short of mesmerizing. Castillo's ability to convey the intense isolation Mia feels, combined with her quiet but powerful resilience, draws the audience into her experience. The chemistry between Castillo and her co-star, Tony Garrido, further elevates the film's emotional depth, with Garrido's portrayal of a fellow survivor adding layers of tension and intrigue to the plot. Behind the scenes, the production team used innovative filmmaking techniques to enhance the sense of isolation and claustrophobia that defines the film. The cinematography, editing, and sound design all work in harmony to create a world where every creak, every moment of silence, and every shift in Mia's environment feels amplified. These technical aspects contribute to the overall mood of the film, making the viewer feel as if they are trapped alongside Mia in her struggle for survival. As we discussed, Nowhere is not just a survival story, but a deep exploration of human emotions under extreme pressure. Themes of isolation, survival, and self-reliance are woven into every scene, giving the film emotional resonance that stays with the viewer long after the credits roll. The symbolic use of space, water, and silence reflects Mia's psychological journey, enhancing the thematic depth of the narrative. Whether it's the constant reminder of the container's confinement or the stark contrast between life and death, Nowhere uses these elements to tell a story that is both personal and universal. Audience reviews have been largely positive, with many praising the film for its emotional depth and powerful performances. While some viewers found the pacing slow at times, most agreed that the film's quiet intensity and focused character study made it a standout in the survival genre. The open-ended conclusion, which leaves certain questions unanswered, has sparked debate among audiences, adding to the film's lasting impact and making it a perfect conversation starter for film lovers. Ultimately, Nowhere succeeds in immersing the audience in its world of isolation, survival, and the human spirit's unyielding desire to endure. Its minimalist approach may not be for everyone, but for those willing to embrace the emotional weight of the story, it offers a deeply rewarding cinematic experience. Whether you're a fan of survival films or just someone looking for a story that challenges you emotionally, Nowhere delivers on every front. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Nowhere and want to stay updated on more movie analyses, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty of exciting content on the way, and we wouldn't want you to miss it. From thought-provoking themes to unforgettable performances, there's always more to explore in the world of cinema. Before we wrap up, here's a question for you. If you found yourself in Mia's situation, what do you think would be the hardest part of surviving alone, and how would you overcome it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions on this fascinating and intense survival tale. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for another deep dive into the world of film.